Death Stranding has many major characters, each with their own incredibly impactful and in-depth backstories. With each one being so interesting in their own way, their tales help piece together the strange and complicated lore of the world of Death Stranding. Using a mix of in-game cutscenes and a pre-written script, this series will cover each major character to help you understand their roles, their past, and their lore. Welcome to the story of Death Stranding. Despite Deadman arguably having the most dialogue in Death Stranding and him being one of the characters I know a lot of players get very attached to, myself included, not an incredible amount is known about him. However, the snippets that we do know makes him one of the more intriguing and mysterious characters in the Death Stranding world. He was previously a coroner before the Death Stranding that destroyed America. Now he works with Bridges as a doctor. And due to him working in this field, he knows all about dooms and in conjunction with Hartman, is intrigued by his ability of repatriation and he educates Sam on this matter. Eventually, he tasks Sam with delivering morphine to the dying president and Sam's adoptive mother, Bridget Strand. Here he introduces Sam to Di Hardman, CEO and director of Bridges, but Sam and Bridget are left alone in the room after a brief conversation, Deadman only reappearing when Bridget dies to assist her. When Sam arrives at the incinerator to burn the president's body, he finds the deactivated BB that Igor Frank gave him at the beginning of the game. When Sam questions why he's there, Deadman informs him that the BB is flagged for disposal and must be incinerated along with the president's body. Deadman is the man in charge of performing maintenance on the BBs, and all throughout the game he delves deeper into logs to find out more about their past, into the BB experiments that Bridget conducted before he joined Bridges.
I've been doing some digging into the first BB experiments. Officially, they were suspended by the government following a void out which claimed the life of the then acting president. Documents were shredded. BB technology banned, yes? But obviously, the experiments continued in secret on the direct orders of President Strand.
Bridget?
The BBs were essential to solving the mystery of the Death Stranding. Oh, she had big plans for them. They weren't designed just to be BT detectors. She wanted to incorporate them into the chiral network to facilitate travel to the beach. But none of her plans ever came to fruition. And now BB Tech has fallen into terrorist hands. But the chiral network presents a new opportunity. By compiling fragmented data in the public domain from all across the country, I might be able to piece together a little more of the puzzle.
Deadman is one of the only reasons that Sam finds out about what BBs even are, how they're founded, their original purpose, and their past involving the Homo demons. Upon Sam's arrival at Mountain Knot City, BB ceases functioning again, and Deadman explains to Sam the urgency.
Sam, a BB's a tool, not a human being. Bridge, yes. Baby, no.
So tell me what the problem is.
This tool, this weapon, is transforming into a living being. It's gaining weight. Its brain activity is increasing. It's accumulating memories. BB-28 is becoming self-aware, becoming an actual child.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me.
It's hardware, Sam. Manufactured for a purpose. A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it. Which hardly matters because at this point, it'll cease functioning within a couple of days.
Cease functioning?
That's right. Not even the pod will be enough. It'll be bricked.
What do we do?
We reset it. You'll have to leave it with me, of course. I'll cut the cord that links the two of you and then perform an operation that reconnects it to the other side. Think of it as a little tug to correct its alignment, to put it back where it belongs, right between the world of the living and the dead. But like I said, you'll have to be without it for a while.
You're sure this will work?
While Deadman fixes up BB, Sam must reconnect more knots to the chiral network in order to aid its recovery. And eventually BB does recover, but Deadman is unable to give Sam him back due to another supercell separating them, and so Deadman tasks Sam with meeting him at a cabin north of Mountain Knot. Before Sam reaches the cabin, the supercell drags both him, Deadman, and the BB into it, placing them in the middle of a World War II battlefield. The combat veteran lurks in this area and he wants to reclaim BB, so Deadman urges Sam to rendezvous with him quickly. At this point, Deadman and BB, who Sam now refers to as Lou, have created a bond, and Deadman now understands Sam's reluctance to let the child go like he did at the incinerator.
The little one should be working again. Let me see. Oh, well then.
I'm taking him down. That should get us both out of here.
You know, Sam, I'm starting to understand why BB is so important to you.
Huh?
It's just a tool. Life and death are supposed to be irrelevant. But we've got attached to each other all the same, haven't we?
Kid's not just a tool. Name's Lou.
Lou, huh? That's a good name.
It is not known exactly how Deadman was born, or I guess you could say created. He states that 70% of his body was harvested from cadavers, while the remaining 30% was grown from pluripotent stem cells, and this is how he received the name Deadman. He is ashamed of his nature as an artificial human, referring to himself as a soulless meat puppet and Frankenstein's monster. Because of this, a great sense of loneliness has instilled within him, something that has changed since his interactions with Sam, as he truly felt like he's his friend. Hartman categorizes Deadman as homo religiosus, due to his, quote, transcendental sublime relationship with death, claiming and almost presuming that it is his faith. Yet, despite all of this, Deadman is extremely kind and well-meaning, and wants only the best for the people that he cares about. It is due to his unusual birth that Deadman has no soul, no car, and by extension, also has no beach, and so tries to connect himself to Sam. His lack of wife and children further fuels his loneliness, which only fuels his connection to Sam even more. As mentioned earlier, throughout the game, Deadman helps Sam by uncovering more information about BB experiments, and accidentally uncovers more secrets about other characters and their connection to said BB experiments, such as Amelie, Bridget, and Die Hardman, eventually discovering the truth about Amelie's non-existence after finding and displaying a hologram of Die Hardman finding out about her uterine cancer diagnosis. If you want to know more about the story of Bridget and Amelie, you can find their respective episodes in the playlist. This discovery was extremely impactful to discovering more about the Death Stranding. And Deadman makes one more major discovery before the end of the game. After Sam leaves Die Hardman's presidential inauguration, he uncovers more of the truth behind the president himself. Again, more of this is covered in Die Hardman's episode. Deadman then waits for him at the exit to the isolation ward holding Lou again, claiming that the BB has ceased functioning entirely, and that, much like the beginning of the game, must travel to the nearest incinerator to burn it. However, he also suggests that despite it being a direct contravention of an executive order, he could disable Sam's cufflinks to disconnect him from the chiral network, rendering him undetectable and making any of his actions invisible to other Bridges members. With this ability, he could remove Lou from the pod if that's what Sam really wants, warning him that it has a very high chance of failure. Sam thanks Deadman for everything he's done for him, and with this, we say goodbye to Deadman, and Sam departs on one last delivery.